This is the examination of the hidden human condition.
This is the Hidden Killers podcast with Tony Bruschi.
Yeah, a New Jersey woman has pled guilty to aggravated manslaughter in the brutal killing of her landlord. In a dramatic turn of events, Mary Carbone, a 60-year-old woman from Manchester, pled guilty on Monday to aggravated manslaughter in the 2020 death of her roommate and occasional lover, Frank Sochel. Originally facing a murder charge, Carbone accepted a plea bargain that guaranteed her a 10-year prison term, significantly less than the minimum for murder. The case set to go to trial this week saw Carbone abandon her defense of battered woman syndrome. Tearfully addressing the court, she acknowledged the events leading to Sochel's death, stating, "It still happened, but yes." According to court proceedings, the relationship between Carbone and Sochel had deteriorated into one marked by domestic violence, prompting numerous calls to the Manchester police. On the night of February 23rd, 2020, a heated altercation escalated in their 6th Avenue home, during which Carbone used household items, including a shower curtain, rod, and tape dispenser, as weapons against Sochel. I don't know, I'm trying to think. Have we ever had any where people are using tape dispenser and a curtain rod?
That's new. That's new to me.
It's kind of like MacGyver-ish, if you will. Despite causing severe injuries, Carbone did not seek medical assistance for Sochel, who was later discovered unconscious by a health officer conducting a welfare check the following day. The crime scene revealed signs of violent struggle with bloodstains and the presence of weapons identified as having been used in the attack. During Monday's plea hearing, Mary Carbone affirmed under questioning from her attorney, Paul Zager, that she had shared a residence on 6th Avenue in Manchester with Frank Sochel, initially as her landlord, and, as Zager described it in the beginning, a friend with benefits. Carbone also admitted that the relationship deteriorated into one marked by domestic violence, prompting her to make 58 calls to the Manchester police over 9 months, some concerning incidents of domestic violence. That's a lot of fucking calls to the police.
Well, and I think that kind of helps explain why she was given that reduced sentence.
Yeah.
There was problems.
Continuing her testimony, Carbone acknowledged the events of February 23rd, 2020, when Sochel allegedly entered her bedroom uninvited, breaking down the door and causing a confrontation that Zager characterized as a heated altercation. She conceded that using household items, including a shower curtain rod and tape dispenser, as weapons during the ensuing fight with Sochel. When pressed Zager about Sochel's state during the altercation, Carbone initially claimed that she thought he had passed out due to drinking. When asked if she had called emergency services upon realizing his condition, Carbone stated she lacked a phone and didn't seek aid from neighbors due to her inability to transport him to a hospital. Assistant Ocean County Prosecutor Megan O'Neill then questioned Carbone directly, to which she admitted inflicting injuries on Sochel with various household objects. When asked directly if she had killed Frank Sochel, Carbone responded affirmatively, making a pivotal moment in the plea hearing. The plea agreement, which includes the possibility of parole after serving 85% of her sentence, so that'd make it, 7.5 years or so, was reached after expert evaluations related to Carbone's mental state and claims of self-defense were considered. Ocean County Prosecutor Bradley D. Billheimer expressed that the decision reflected a careless assessment of the case's complexities and input from Sochel's family. Mary Carbone's sentencing is scheduled now for September 13th, where the judge will determine the final terms of her imprisonment.
Yeah, I think that's interesting. They consulted his family and they agreed to that. So it must...
They kind of probably knew.
Yeah, and it just makes you think that obviously there had been some domestic violence issues. And it's just so sad, if she's renting a room from him and maybe at the beginning it was kind of fun and now it's not. And, that's just such a tough thing because she did murder him.
Mm-hmm. She did, but it's like if this happened...
He was attacking her.
If this happened in Florida, I don't think she'd be getting the same sentence because it's a stand your ground type thing. And if you're being abused and you have to defend yourself, well, sometimes that means not just if you don't have the ability to run away, sometimes that does mean inflicting harm on the individual that is attacking you to get them to stop. Why should you be then imprisoned for protecting yourself from someone who You don't know what the fuck they're going to do. Could they take your life? Sure. Could they just beat you? Sure. Either way, I don't see a I mean, anyone who's attacking another person, if the person who's attacking the other ends up dead, well, sorry, jackass, you shouldn't have attacked somebody.
So check this out. So when they discovered his body, he had in his hand a medieval mace. It was a piece of wood with a chain and ball and spikes attached to it.
Fuck.
He had that in his hand. So
then she shouldn't be going to jail. If someone's coming at you with that, I'd pull out, if you had a gun, and aim at the head.
And to be honest, I'm kind of surprised that he would, there would be evidence of him breaking down her door. You could tell if it's been broken down from the outside.
Mm-hmm.
So I think they could see that. And then they find a weapon on him. But I'm surprised that she was even able to kill him.
Yeah.
Because he was armed and enraged and probably, my guess is drinking.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I'm just guessing. But I'm surprised that with a tape dispenser and a shower curtain rod, she was able to do that.
Yeah. I mean,
so she probably went ballistic herself and, is trying to keep herself alive. What do you do?
Well, and it's not like, it sounds like she just kind of grabbed whatever was there.
Exactly. She wasn't planning on murdering anybody that day. You don't plan a murder with a tape dispenser. No. It was just because it was there. And if you feel like you have to save your own life, I think you could do a lot of things. And I think that's the situation she was in. And it just makes me sad, because it's like, you hear these stories of people kind of in that age range, 60s, 70s, renting out rooms in their houses. And they kind of end up inviting in strangers. And I've heard some stories lately. I saw a show on Netflix where, a similar situation and one of the people killed a woman.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's just so dangerous, but they're doing what they have to do to keep their house.
Yeah.
They're trying to maintain a place to live and they can't afford it. And this is the only thing they can do.
Mm-hmm.
It just makes me sad because I just don't think she would be someone who would murder somebody. But I think she was put in a situation where she didn't have a choice.
Very much so. Like no choice at all. Yeah. I mean, this is one where it's amazing. It very much depends where the crime takes place in this country as to what your penalty will be.
I know. And that doesn't seem right to me.
No, it doesn't. In
Florida, you'd be like, okay, live a good life now. You're off. And then in other states, just depends on geography. And it shouldn't.
No, it's the same act. If someone's attacking you and you defend yourself, it should be what it is. And this seems pretty clear cut, honestly.
Agreed.
Well, just another example of our wonderful judicial system here in the United States of America.
Want to listen ad-free? Want advance access to all of our interviews before anyone else?
Become a True Crime Today Premium Plus subscriber on Apple Podcasts.
You get every episode commercial-free.
So you can binge on true crime
until you can binge no more.
Search True Crime Today Premium Plus on Apple Podcasts now, or go to our podcast page and sign up now.
More of the Hidden Killers podcast next.